Good everybody, it's Matt here, and today I've got the Thermaltake massive A21 notebook cooler, which is meant to support laptops of up to 17 inches, and it has a massive 200mm fan in it, which is really cool. I like that a lot more than a lot of small fans because a big fan moves a lot more air on its own while running at a lower speed and is therefore quieter. So the specs say this is meant to move 64 CFM at 28 decibels based on 600 RPM or an 800 RPM turbo mode. Now this is meant to have a full aluminium top layer on it, which should also help with cooling, particularly for aluminium laptops like the Apple ones. So keen to have a look, see what it's like. So let's go ahead and open this one up. All right. So it does actually look and feel like it is aluminium. So that's it on top there. And underneath it, we have got a warranty card, a power cable, which appears to be a unusual pin to USB-A, and our quick start guide, which is pretty straightforward. So let's have a closer look at this, shall we? So this is everything that comes in the box, and according to this manual, we should have on the underside of our stand 2 knobs, which can be removed and replaced in these screw holes here to lock our laptop into place. So we've got 4 places they can go in, so it gives us some flexibility as to which holes we want to use based on our laptop size. So having a closer look at this, it definitely does have an aluminium finish on top with a circular hole mesh pattern. On the underside, I've got our knobs over here that are meant to go on the front, so they appear to just pop out, and they have a rubberized finish on them, so they'll screw on the top. And then we've also got here our big fan and a mechanism for adjusting the angle that this is sitting at, so we'll have a look at that shortly as well. So flipping this over, so I'll just put these knobs in, so they're really easy to screw in, they're rubberized. And then we've also got this little ledge here to hold our laptop in place. It's very small, laptop potentially would come over that with a bit of a bump, but these knobs I feel like would really hold it there because they're a decent height. So looking at this mechanism on the underside, it appears this bit lifts up, and then we've got a sort of ratchet mechanism here with this metal piece that will allow us to angle it. So doing that, it's actually at quite a high angle there. We can lower it further down, and that's the lowest point. So we've got 4 different settings with that, and it's a fairly easy to use mechanism. Also on the back of the cooler here, we've got a turbo mode button, an on-off switch, our power input, and for those that get the more expensive model, you can have a USB hub here. This model doesn't. So let's actually plug this in, try it out, put a laptop on it and see how it looks. All right, so I've just plugged the power cable in. If we switch that on, there's a little blue LED that's come on the top there, and this has powered up. Now, it feels like there's a little bit of airflow, not tons, but a reasonable amount, and it certainly is quiet. If we press the turbo mode button, it's definitely picked up the airflow with that. But there is a bit of a vibrating kind of noise coming through, which could be a little bit annoying. It's only subtle. It's not just a straight, clean fan noise. Now for size, I've got a 13-inch MacBook Pro. There's tons of room there. We would easily fit a 15-inch on this. A 17-inch, we are going to be starting to look at right at the edges, maybe even hanging off the edges if it's a particularly large 17-inch, but there is a lot of room on this cooling pad. So if we lift it up at one of the angles, let's have a look at that. That is the lowest ratchet angle. As we get higher, that's our next one. And so on. So we're definitely getting to quite the angle here. And in practice, I mean, you probably could use that. The angle of the laptop does open sufficiently that it's usable. So it actually is quite versatile in that sense. And having these rubberized knobs here at the bottom, it really does lock the laptop in place. So it's not going to come off of there very easily. Obviously, when you're at this sort of angle, if it comes forward, it's going to go off. But I feel like these rubberized things, they are holding it in very well. Like there's a little bit of side to side slippage, but not much coming forwards at all. Like it feels really solid on there, even at this high of an angle. I'm pretty impressed with that. Now, besides the power LED on the back of this stand, there are no other LEDs in this one. So if you're not really wanting LEDs in it, this one is a great option. And I really feel like with this up at a higher angle, that airflow has drastically increased. Even with it at the normal setting, the airflow feels quite good. There's a lot of air coming through there. So that is the Thermaltake Massive A21 notepad cooler. So what do I like about it? I like these rubberized knobs here. Combined with this ledge, it really locks the laptop in, even when you're right up at an angle. That ratchet system underneath does give you also quite a bit of versatility for angles. So you can have the laptop basically flat like this, or you can tilt it up at a number of angles, and that's kind of nice. Gives you some really good viewing angles. I like that a lot. I would personally like that it doesn't have any LEDs in it. I never use them, and so not having them, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I don't need them, so that's nice. I like this aluminium finish. I feel like it looks stylish and it goes well with the Apple products, which are all that aluminium look as well. I like the big fan, and it has a lot of airflow coming through while being relatively quiet. What I don't like is that little bit of a vibration noise that seems to exist in there. That's a little bit annoying. It would be nice if there was a USB pass-through at the very least for this. So if you're using a USB port on your laptop, you're not losing the whole port, but that's not a big deal to me. There's other ways around that. I also noticed, while it does catch towards the back where those feet are, the front of it does actually slide around quite freely on the desk. While it locks your laptop in well on the stand itself doesn't necessarily lock in well on your desk. I do like that the USB cable is not fixed. I would prefer if it used a standard plug, so I could use any cable and didn't have to have exactly the right one that comes with it. Overall, I would say I really quite like this one. I also like the fact that it should actually suit a big 17-inch laptop. It should be big enough to handle that, or very close to it. A lot of these coolers say they are suitable for 17-inch laptops, but then are not really big enough. So I like that about this one. And I also like the nice subtle Thermaltake branding up the top. So that's it. That is the Thermaltake A21 notebook cooler. I hope you found this video helpful. Be sure to like it and also subscribe to my channel for more videos like this from me. Bye for now.